All right, squad, in today's video, I'm going to show you how to get typed routes from Rails, believe it or not, using a very handy gem. So without further ado, let's jump straight in. We want to be cool like all the JavaScript kids with their typed routes. So what are we going to do? So we are going to drop in this gem called JS Routes. So let's have a look at that one. Okay, so it's a little gem here, Railsware JS Routes, super sick package. And what it does is it dynamically creates our routes so that we can import them in JavaScript and don't have to manually keep them up to date. It's amazing, actually, to be honest. And then it gives us all the parameters that we need to do. So when we actually get our routes. So let's get set up. So the first thing we need to do is drop this gem in. Yep, save that. And then we're gonna run bundle. Bang, smash that in. Let it do its thing. And then we're going to go in Rails generate JS routes middleware, stick that in. So what it does is basically every page load, I believe, creates a crash here. But every page load, it will automatically go and create, it'll read our routes file, and then it will create a typed file of every single route with the parameters it needs. It's super cool. And the methods that it needs to use. Yeah, so I actually think this is might be a little bug in the actual gem, because what it's doing, it's looking for this file. So Shad's in app JavaScript routes, which doesn't exist because we use frontend here. So it's trying to create it in the JS file. So I think we can fix that by creating an initializer. Yeah, it's got an initializer here. So what I'm gonna do is just grab the actual file and update the file path, which doesn't look like it has it here. Don't want that to be a comment. Thank you, Chant. So we're gonna go app, front end. It's just complaining. Yes, sir, whatever. App front end lib routes. That's where we want our storage. So you can store that wherever you want inside of your project. That's where I put it. Now, if we run here and run that, it should work, okay? It's got a conflict in the initializers. Do we want to overwrite that? No, thank you. I don't want you to overwrite that. So it's skipping that, and then it's added to the config, or it's unchanged environments development reg file. Now it's inserted middleware that should run every time we refresh. Now let's have a look. So if we go into front end, let me make this a little bit bigger. We've got lib, we've got routes, boom. It's got a little thing here, and then we've got all our types. And what's this? Edit project path. So it's already run it. So it's on initialize, it's already run it. Now we can actually see edit project path, edit status path, inertia example path. So basically every route that we've got is automatically there. We don't have many. We've really just got these RESTful routes at the moment, statuses and projects, like that. And then we got that. And then we've also got this inertia example. All right, so that's all up to date. Now, how does this work? Let's have a look and use it in our front end. So first things first, I'm gonna just restart Vite just so it picks up that file and that new folder structure. I have noticed that Vite Rails sometimes does need a restart to actually pick up new components and stuff, which is strange. But anyway, just to get rid of that problem or potential problem. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna jump into our pages project and then have a look at our index, right? So at the moment, these are hard coded, right? Now that can be a bit of an issue is if you do change your route or you're manually setting this across the whole app. So usually what I do is I'll probably export it in one place, and I'll create like a route, and then I'll just say edit, and then it'll always just have the route there. But look, these are all hard coded, right? So what we can do here is go import, edit, project path. Now you can see here, it requires an ID, and then it has options, which are the formats. So it's a fully typed route from Rails. Like, thank you for the hard work that you've done. So from here, we're actually looking for the show. So we're gonna go project path. And then all we need to do here, chuck that in, and gonna go project.id. Okay. Now when we go here, you can see it's already done it all for it. So it's a function. So this is key. It's a function. It's not just a string. It's a function that accepts an argument to generate and return a string, right? So you can see it here. it returns a string. So it takes in ID options and then it returns the string here for you. Happy days. Now we've got that there. So now we can get all our typed paths. You don't have to try and remember, what's that path? And if you like move it, you can obviously in Rails, you can name routes. So you can give it a name and it'll always be that name. And then if you change the path, it doesn't matter. This is all dynamic. So it's all pulling in and it happens. One thing that I have noticed is you can't just change the route and then expect it to appear here. So for instance, let's go add a new one. Let's just create users. Yeah. For instance, we'll go users. Resources users, right? So we're gonna go cool, yep, and then we're gonna expect that users is here. It's not there, okay? But if you refresh this, I believe it comes in, or maybe again. I actually still don't know exactly how to trigger it. No, how do you re-trigger it? Empty cache reload. I still haven't figured out what actually causes it to rerun itself. Which is interesting, but if we restart the server, you don't have to do this, so awkward. From here, let's go use there. Okay, so the restart triggered it. You can now see we have our user path. You shouldn't have to restart the server though. It does reload it and it could possibly just be a setting that I've missed. We just want to make sure it might be missing. So we need to add this so this is the manual, the router, config middleware use. Let's just check this because this might be, no, it's there. You know what it probably is? I need to restart my server now because if we have a look, because we changed the config file, it's probably that. So we got user, yep. And then in here, if we add another one, let's just say thing, resources, things. If we refresh the page, doesn't work. Yep. Okay, so you see there. So you just need to make sure once you install, you restart your server so they can pick up the new config that we've done here, the new development config. And then every time you refresh the page, so that's key, you do have to reload the page because that'll fetch from Rails and it'll actually run the middleware. We can get their routes. So that's how easy it is, right? So now we add in our things and our routes just appear magically. So very simple one, very quick video, but I just wanted to show you that it's a very handy fix. Like I used to maintain these in separate files, like prior to this beautiful world existing. We'd have to manually map everything. And now it just comes. So we just drop a gem in and away we go. So hopefully that's handy, definitely handy for you. And if you love typed things, super cool. All right. Until next time, catch you guys later.